Do I have to be a black person to be inspired by a black person? That's ghettoizing.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it should come as no surprise to you today that some more news about Ubisoft broke over 2 days ago. It's a bit of a big story, but I want to go over it because this gentleman, Mark Alexis Cortez, better known as Mac to his friends at Ubisoft, has stepped down from the company. I mean, look, I don't want to say, oh, what a shame, because the guy's had 20 years in the video game industry, but when you get involved with something like Assassin's Creed Shadows, which courted controversy, as I'm about to show you here in this IGN article, because IGN just cannot shut up their pie holes when it comes to resurfacing old news that, frankly, at this stage is just old-tide news now.
Some changes that were recently made in Shadows, I think, is one of our best game.
I would agree.
Thank you. Thank you.
They hunted him down. They murdered his friends. And they took the only thing he would kill for.
You know this guy?
Yeah, but I'm not proud of it.
If it's a mission no man can survive, he's the man for the job.
Kung Fu Hot Dog.
Fuck you, asshole.
So watch out for him and his babes of the 1980s. Hail to the Jason King, baby.
It's all in the reflexes.
So, Mark Alexis Cortez has departed Ubisoft. After a career spanning more than 20 years, IGN understands. The news comes just 2 weeks after Assassin's Creed, Ubisoft's biggest brand, which is now sinking slowly into the sands of time, do you see what I did there, became operated by Vantage Studios, the separate business entity formed by Ubisoft with a 25% stake from Chinese giant Tencent. That will also now oversee all future Far Cry and Rainbow Six games. Ubisoft staff were informed of the news this afternoon, which is obviously 2 days ago, via an internal email which discussed the need for Vantage Studios' leadership team to be aligned with the core values of Tencent. That's what it actually means. IGN understands that Cortez was curtailed and was offered a role as part of the Vantage Studios leadership but declined. I'm curious because maybe it's to do with creativity, that maybe he had to bring decisions about a video game to the Tencent members of the board and they approve or disapprove. There must have been something there why he declined. It's not about the money, it's probably a more personal creative issue. That's what I believe. In an internal note to Ubisoft staff obtained by IGN, Vantage Studios co-CEO Christophe Derenez said he was disappointed by Cortez's decision and that the former leader had his own expectations and priorities related to Vantage Studios' creation and future. Again, when you got a company like Tencent who now have 25% of your company, expect hostility in the boardroom. That's what it's about, bro. Have you not seen Batman Begins? Did you not get the memo, Mr. Wayne? Following the organizational restructuring announced in March 2025, Alexis Cortez has been chosen or has chosen to pursue a new path elsewhere outside of Ubisoft. So in other words, he knew that the writing was on the wall already, so to speak. And that's why they had this kind of coded speech to say, yeah, you know, things were changing in March of this year because Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed Shadows, this will resurface in the article, by the way, but much, much further down, because that was the cause of everything. Had that game been a mitigated success, I think it's fair to say that Alexis Cortez would still be in the job now. But of course the boilerplate responses always come out now. We're so sad to see him go. Of course you are, Christophe. We are deeply grateful for the impact Mark Alexis has had over the years, particularly in shaping the Assassin's Creed brand into what it is today. What you mean? Absolutely shit. I'm not just talking about Shadows, but Valhalla as well, which if you play the game, and I haven't, but I've seen enough gameplay to know that it's an endless recycling of recycling landscapes and missions, and it's just absolute farming fodder in that game. Honestly, I mean, it might have a grand title, unattractive male and female characters. Oh my god, no thank you very much. But yeah, we're grateful for how he actually killed the brand of Assassin's Creed. His leadership, his creativity and dedication have left a lasting skid mark on our teams and our players. We thank him sincerely from the bottom of our bottoms for his many contributions and wish him continued success in all of his future endeavors. See what I mean? How many times have we seen this phrase rebranded time and time again? And look, we've got Naue there from Assassin's Creed Shadows. So he joined Ubisoft in 2005. My god, that was a good year, wasn't it, folks? As creative director, Cote led development on a string of projects built at Ubisoft Quebec, the talented team which made Assassin's Creed, Black Flag, DLC Freedom Cry, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which I absolutely love, by the way, and then Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which, again, you know, this is where the Odyssey game, you had Cassandra and you had the other male protagonist you could choose from, but of course they're going to bring the gay stuff into it, didn't they? It was so annoying beyond belief.
Needed. Yes, I'll go down with you.
Perfect. Let me show you my private collection.
Just play a game with two straight characters. Why do you have to throw the gay angle in? It's so effing stupid. In March 2022, as Quebec worked on Assassin's Creed Shadows, and Ubisoft sought to relaunch the series with a more consistent story focused via the Animus, or in this case the Ananus hub, a project that envisioned under the title of Assassin's Creed Infinity and Beyond, in which this case is not going beyond that. It was Cote that took the reins like a man on a wild horse that did not want to be steered anywhere. What a shame. Of course, now Cote laid out a Marvel-esque style MCU approach to upcoming projects, including a game I keep talking about, Assassin's Creed Hexe, which is going to feature a butt-ugly witch in the Salem witch trials, putting down men with lightning bolts from her fingers. I hope that actually happens. You know, getting out an Emperor Palpatine in the guise of a female. That would be absolutely hilarious if they actually go through with that. And look, I partook in a poll. People apparently want to see... Well, this is a bit stupid actually, because they're saying which Assassin's Creed game do you want to see get a remake? But we know that Black Flag AC4 is already being remade anyway. I believe it is, not a remaster, so my vote of Assassin's Creed 3 should have been a lot more higher, but apparently superseding that is actually the first game, which I guess makes sense from 2007. It is rough around the edges if you replay it now, but it's still a very good game. And then here we go. And then last December, amid a firestorm, oh my, not a fire starter, twisted fire starter, amid a firestorm of discourse surrounding Assassin's Creed Shadows, Black samurai protagonist Yasuke. The fact that IGN have to highlight the color of the character is a bit befuddling. It was Cote who defended the role of the series storytelling because Yves Guillemot had a gun to his head, didn't he? What else is he going to do? Not follow orders? And the BAFTA award that he gave an impassioned storytelling speech about why it's important to have very diverse video games. Again, if I hear one more video game developer talking about how we need diversity in video games, I will personally take a plane to that country and batter them around the head with my hands, all bloodied and bruised and cold and just like a ninja, just like a fist of North Star, and then head back home like nothing ever happened. Assassin's Creed has always been about exploring the full rectum of human history. Well, we're talking about Shadows here, aren't we? And by its very nature, that history is diverse. I was just talking about that. Oh my god. Staying true to history means embracing the richness of human perspectives without compromise, Cote said last year. You know what? That sounds like the final speech he probably should have given, and maybe it was. Who knows? Look, this guy had to go, I guess, and I'm not being funny. Tencent probably saw, and probably the second time I'm now saying this phrase, they saw the writing on the wall. This game did not impress even the country of Japan, remember? The Japanese government were planning to take action against Ubisoft for the fact that Yasuke can walk around those beautiful temples in Japan. If you've been to Kyoto, like I have in 2018, some of the most beautiful temples I've ever walked into. You know, it's so cool in Japan, right, that you can just take your sneakers off, put them on the inside or the outside of the temple, and I wear some pretty expensive footwear. Nobody's gonna come and steal it. It's just incredible. But yet in the game, which they obviously took a patch out for later on, where Yasuke was able to go around shrines and destroy ancient shrines, okay, the properties within them, all the vases, it's so fundamentally stupid. Like, Yasuke as a character is stupid anyway, because first of all, he was never a samurai, and secondly, if you play him in the game, he's just like this big lumbering so-called sumo wrestler of a guy with no discernible fighting skills. When you're an Assassin's Creed in the guild, you've got certain skills. I mean, Jacob and Evie Fry from Assassin's Creed Syndicate, now those two had some impressive set of skills, and that's why I like that game so much. And the way they recreated Victoria, London with some steampunk element was absolutely fantastic. So I wish Alexis Cote the best on his journey, whatever that's going to be. And on that one, folks, I wonder if Yves Jameau will be next to be on the guillotine. I certainly hope so, because that man is an absolute buffoon and an imbecile, unlike yours truly. But if you ended up enjoying today's video, folks, you know what to do already. Leave a like below, smash that subscribe button, and I will catch you catching me for the return of the next video.
Some changes that were recently made in Shadows, I think, is one of our best game.
I would agree.
I hope you aren't easily chilled. Do you think someone might see us?
Maybe.
Do you care?
Not at all.
I think is one of our best game.